I'm Janie Barrera, the founding president and CEO of LiftFund. We started our not-for-profit organization in 1994. Our mission is to provide access to capital and technical assistance to small business owners that cannot receive those services from the traditional banks because of bank regulations. For example, you have to have a certain FICO score to get a loan, or you have to be in business for so many years to get a loan. At LiftFund, we work with businesses that are right underneath the radar screen of the banks. We work with them, providing the financial education they need to eventually work directly with the banks. We have an unusual business model. We want to lose our best customers. We want them to graduate and begin to work with the traditional banking institutions. It's a full circle relationship. With the businesses growing out of LiftFund, we now have room for other small businesses to receive the assistance they need. We are not a bank, and so we don't have depositors. Our funds are limited, and we have to revolve the funds so that those funds will now be available to the next person that needs the capital. We lend the money, the borrower pays us back, we report to the credit bureaus their payment history with us, customers' FICO scores increase, and they are off to the banks. Truly a full circle relationship. In 1994, we started our work in San Antonio as Acción Texas. Since then, we have grown from serving one city to now serving 13 states across the southeast part of our country. We have provided more than $328 million to more than 21,000 small businesses throughout our footprint. Because of our expansion outside of Texas, we needed to change our name. We rebranded as LiftFund 5 years ago in 2015. Our Houston office now has been open more than 20 years. We opened the Houston office in 1998 as Acción Texas. Since then, we've served over 3,000 Houston businesses with more than $55 million in capital, and we have a 96% repayment rate. These small businesses have provided jobs and opportunities for many people in Houston. I know firsthand the hard work of starting a small business. My parents owned a Mexican restaurant in Corpus Christi for over 20 years. My first job was as a waitress. I still remember my first big tip. It was a Kennedy 50-cent piece. My parents worked hard. My dad was the cook and my mom ran the front of the house. I remember them getting up before God woke up because the restaurant opened at 6 o'clock in the morning. And the ladies that helped my dad had to be picked up at their homes because the buses didn't run at that time. The masa for the tortillas had to be prepared for the first customers walking in the door at 6 o'clock. No store-bought tortillas at La Mexicana restaurant. My parents worked hard for over 20 years. They trusted their bookkeeper, but didn't know how to read a balance sheet. At the end of the day, they ended up with no pension, and between them, $1,500 a month from Social Security. They were not able to build wealth and have assets. LiftFund helps people build assets. One of the reasons I believe in the mission of LiftFund is that we not only provide capital, we provide the financial literacy small businesses need to be successful. I wish LiftFund had been around for my parents. The other reason I believe in the mission of LiftFund is that I believe in empowerment. Giving someone a fish, you may have heard that saying, you can give somebody a fish and they eat for a day. You teach somebody how to fish and they eat for a lifetime. Well, what we do here at LiftFund is that we help people buy the pond where they fish, and now they own something. And that's how I believe we can break that cycle of poverty and build assets. LiftFund transforms lives by opening doors, leveling the financial playing field, and building a community of shared success.